It's been said, feminism didn't free women from the oppression they thought they were under. It freed men from the oppression they didn't know they were under. Society has a very unhealthy, dismissive culture when it comes to modern dating. Far too many materialistic people are trying to live a champagne lifestyle on lemonade money, and the sense of entitlement is alarming. I think both genders are guilty of this, but the stratospheric demands being put on potential dating partners is extreme and mostly unrealistic. Everybody seems to want, without actually earning anything. We live in a strange world, and it worries me to think what things will be like for the next generation of men, and especially women. And when you think about it, nothing is more repulsive than having a self-entitled adult whining and howling about how they're being so terribly victimized by other people's lawful right to not be their financial asset and household accessory. What is happening is an exploitation of male nature. He naturally wants to protect the women, he wants to be of service, he wants to be loyal, and he wants to do what's right. So you condition him to believe that what he's doing, he has to do for her, because that's her birthright. Every time he disobeys your orders, or ceases to be your servant, you can simply accuse him of disregarding that particular aspect of what it means to be a man, and he will comply. Since it is undeniable that men are choosing to withdraw from relationships, careers, and education, I would want to discuss why this is happening and how it is negatively affecting men, women, and society as a whole. More and more men are avoiding dating women, getting into relationships, and marriage. And this isn't just something happening in a particular city or a particular region, it's happening across the Western world. And this doesn't make men lonely. It means men would rather be alone than be in relationships where they have nothing to gain. Men are now looking to focus on themselves, rather than spend their lives laboring for women who don't care about those men. And as a consequence, we can see a major decline in family values, and children in the Western world. Women have moved into traditionally male jobs because males aren't being given the opportunities they had before. Men are only restricted to work in labor-intensive roles, while more and more women are preferred for decision-making roles. While that is great for women, this is causing an imbalance in the traditional family system where men are providers. In fact, it is detrimental to society and civilization for women to be supported in these productive professions, since it costs more money to employ them than they generate. We can see that this situation won't last for very long, but for now, let's focus on some of the specifics. 3/4 of the jobs lost during the Great Recession were held by males, and the majority of them were in the industrial and manufacturing sectors. There's also a weird belief that office-based jobs are more important than labor-intensive manufacturing jobs. Women wanted this life and pushed hard to achieve it, even to the point of suing men's and boys' clubs, groups, and companies to get it. Now they are crying about it. As far as dating and being stood up, welcome to what every guy has gone through at least once in their lives at the hands of women. Woke feminism sells women on the very seductive idea of zero responsibility. Everything bad, somewhere somehow, is a man's fault. That is not reality. Why on earth would men willing to fulfill traditionally masculine roles want to be with a woman who isn't willing to fulfill any roles, let alone traditionally feminine ones? The idea that woke women these days have is zero responsibility, selective equality, and becoming CEO without having to do the hard work that men in their positions are accustomed to. Any woman who considers herself a feminist has no business wanting a man to pay for any dates, and not just the first one, because they spout equality but want special and preferential treatment. Someone said that probably the single worst thing feminism has done to women was lying to them about what men should want, and not focusing on what they do want. And in doing so, torpedoed any believer's chances of finding a man and getting married. That's so true, and speaks volumes about the mindsets of woke women today. From another perspective, it's called cognitive dissonance. This is feminism in a nutshell. Want their cake and eat it too, as well as Dom Perignon every night, caviar every day, and all the trimmings from the high life? but you can pick up the check while she goes out on the town with her friends on your card and ends up somewhere else other than your bed, and you will not only be okay with it, but happy and excited for her. When all of this takes place, it's almost unbelievable that the woke women of today are confused as to why men don't want them, don't want to date them, and don't even try to approach them. There's a fine line between wanting to be liberal and being a feminist, and that line has been blurred to the extent that woke feminism only means selective equality, which means that women only want men who can be their lifelong slaves, work 24/7 to provide for them, and never expect anything from them as they go out and about, spending his resources and chasing her corporate career. Basically, the moment a man enters into marriage with a woke feminist, his days are over. He's done for. He has signed the contract to be a slave for the rest of his life, where his decisions will be questioned, where what he says will be ignored, and where he will be expected to do everything for this woman and not expect anything in return. Only in the middle to late 20th century did women have access to a lifestyle where women could be romantically involved with other women in public. I believe that as more and more men go their separate ways, accumulating their own riches and living their own lives, women will become more and more destitute or reliant on credit and the government to survive. Because it's a societal norm, women frequently say one thing while really meaning another. They can't seem to approach anything in life directly, thus it's likely part of their biology as well. They aren't as literal as men are, but they are always attempting to enter our thoughts through our back doors. Because we have a variety of goals to pursue in the actual world, men cannot afford to be overly literal. Women, on the other hand, can't afford to be upfront, because if something goes wrong, we know what they're up to, where they stand on any particular topic, or their genuine motives are obvious. They don't want us to truly place the responsibility on them, because women are physically and emotionally weaker. Women who were more successful at influencing males throughout history pass on their genes to subsequent generations. It's funny how today, women can openly admit that she is tired of being strong and independent women for 40 years. Now she wants a man in her life to take care of the chores around the house and be a convenient handyman because she is tired or unable to perform these chores herself. Notice how there is no mention of love or a sense of respect for the man who would be in her life. It is all about them, their convenience, self-entitlement, and validation. Leave these modern women alone to live the life they choose to live. They wanted equality and independence from men. Now they have it and they hate it. Fellas, travel, meet women from other countries, have fun, spend your hard-earned money on yourselves, and enjoy your life without their madness and chaos. Leave these Western modern women alone to be with their cats and boxed wine. Any woman that says she is strong and independent, don't help them. Don't date them. Don't do things for them as a co-worker and treat them like another bro. She wants that equality. She should get it. Guys, remember, when women ask why men don't ask them out, they're not talking to you. They're not talking to me. They're talking to Chad and Tyrone about the bank account, the six-pack, and the Bugatti. Joe Schmo isn't even a consideration. Most men have just decided to stop accepting women's double standards. You all decided you don't need us, so we have decided to leave you to your own devices and be as independent and strong as you choose to be, and take care of everything on your own. Maybe someday when you all wake up from your delusion and make a real heartfelt apology for taking us for granted, we'll come back and accept you back into the fold. Until then, good luck, ladies, and don't forget to feed your cats. What man in his right mind would pick up the old trash that was used up by other men and toss it on the side of the street? That's what a recycle bin is for. Men should get their passports and find a traditional, feminine, fit, supportive, appreciative woman who values their men and family. Men are done being exploited for their hard work and straightforwardness. They're done being ATMs, and they're done being backups for everything. They want loyalty, and they want honesty. Until then, they're going their own way. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings, like yourself, need to know.